done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now.
Back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun. Are you ready? Let's go.
Now we're back from the dead. We're back from the dead.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Back from the dead.
We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
We're back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and
If you had long hair, oh, she was in it. She was up in behind your
Really?
ears.
Like, that's what we're doing now? Welcome to Dire Bear Adventuring Company, everyone, where we're talking about rats being in hair. Not like in a weird way. Like having pet rats and then they're... Anyways.
Well, you can
I
also have
digress.
rats in your hair that you gotta comb out.
Ooh.
Welcome to Alone in the Void, where, as always, our captain is a bit behind. All right. Tonight we have Atlas playing Tane, who is a brown screen on my camera. Nara,
working on
who's
it.
being played by Maddie. We have Jason playing Skippy, V playing Quentin, and Pelka, who is playing Nain. And Nain is a black screen for me, but as long as everybody else can see him, that's what was really important.
Whoa.
Well.
I have a
Oh,
picture for Nain and then a brown square for Tane.
Rectify yourself.
It was working and then it froze.
As always, it's not a Dire Bear Adventuring Company episode without at least a little bit of technical difficulty. Speaking of, Jason, can you hear anyone? Can you hear anyone at all?
He just left Discord.
Okay. Hopefully he'll join back in and everything will be right as rain.
I'm gonna.
That's a
restart
soliloquy
my
right there. Ladies and
computer.
gentlemen, I can see his mouth moving, but I can't hear anything.
Oh, Jack's here. Jack.
Yay! Hello. I'm gonna
Welcome.
restart
Wow.
my computer, so switching to mobile Discord here real quick.
Yay.
Oh my gosh.
Boom, boom.
I'm still, hopefully, I don't have mic issues tonight. We'll see.
I don't know that we've swapped the slide over because... Okay, you're good. You're good.
So let me know if my volume is
We're
weird.
professionals here.
We're doing great, sweetie.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Hey, now I can see Pelka's beautiful face.
Stunning. Stunning.
Haha.
Truly. An icon.
There it is.
All right.
Another time.
Welcome back, everyone, to Dire Bear Adventuring Company's 10th episode of Alone in the Void.
Yeet.
They made it through 10 episodes without murdering each other.
Only just, though.
Technically.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Wait, how long has your hair been?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not half.
My camera didn't work for you the entire last session, so I.
What?
It was
may be
green.
multiple-
Well,
I'm
you
maybe
missed it.
multiple
It
weeks
was
behind on you.
it was green last week. Now it's this obnoxious red.
I don't think you
Wait,
actually
wait.
have hair
I feel like
so
I'm
much as you
missing out
have a
now.
bunch of wigs.
I
A bunch
actually
of
do.
wigs.
I literally do actually have a half red and half black wig that I could wear.
That's cute. I like it.
All right. Now,
Oh, my lord.
you all didn't come to see us ramble on about our hair. You came to watch
We
people
did
get all spazzed out in space. So, without further ado, again, welcome to Alone in the Void, episode 10. I'm sorry, I'm just being distracted by Maddie.
Just excuse me while I
This is gonna me just get into character a little
sort
bit.
this
here.
wig out.
At least you're not doing mouth exercises like beep 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 beep, ba, 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 boo, 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 boo.
You gotta do your mouth exercises. Okay.
All right. Last episode, they landed planetside. They finally made it. They were the first ones there. They established a small colony and over a few days spread out and searched the area where they saw some amazing looking creatures. Met with a lot of rainfall and saw some storms off in the distance. Concerned over the scan that they found on the nearby habitable neighboring planet, which showed some form of intelligent life that may have once existed there. Let's see. Skippy, all but Nara, if I'm not mistaken, boarded the bridge, which converted into a jump ship sort of thing, along with Tridemus, and headed towards the neighboring planet. Meanwhile, Nara was dealing with the neuroses and issues that come with being on a new colony planet and establishing life in the proper order. Civilian government had been established with the leaders being elected amongst the group, but it was pretty clear who they were going to elect. And there is work going towards establishing a thriving colony with growing plants in the soil and things like that. As you left, heading towards the nearby neighboring planet, you scanned the surface to see that there were structures, at least, made of both stone and some made from metal, if I'm not mistaken. You had found a careful place to land, if I'm not mistaken. Or were you still above the surface?
Oh no, we landed.
Okay. That's right, because there was a large structure, like a large shopping mall. I couldn't remember where in the order we were, but the large structure that laid out before you, a long strip of what appeared to be almost like a runway of some sort, with two tapered towers on either end of it. Almost ziggurat-like, but taller and not quite as stepped. You put down at the end of the runway because there was signal coming from the large structure.
Tridemus thought it was a distress call.
Yes, that's correct. Tridemus called it a distress signal.
On repeat, right?
Typically, but that was the impression he got from it.
Right. As you...
Did we bring the Praetor with us?
What's that?
Praetor with us?
Yeah. From what I understand, you brought both of them.
I was thinking so.
Can't leave them alone. Can't trust the best.
So I missed some of the recap.
Praetor steps forward timidly and waits for one of you to disembark first. Tridemus looks around. His face implacable, but looks left and right, and gives off a soft sound.
And all we were going to need on this planet was breathing masks, right?
Yeah, actually, the atmosphere here, it's remembering that it's not something that it would affect you in the short term.
Was it? I thought the oxygen levels were low.
Right. In the short term, you could survive. In the short term, being an hour or two, but you would need to have some sort of rebreathing apparatus to help.
We have like our mag suits on, right? Or our vac suits.
Your vac suits, correct. You can don your vac suits if you'd like to.
Mag boots.
Risk it and try. You can.
You'll go ahead and put on the suit just to be sure.
Yeah, I think that's a safe.
All right. Everybody with a character sheet should have a vac suit roll because that is a standard lesson. I'd like for everybody to go ahead and give vac suit. You can have a +1 modifier since you're all there to help each other out.
We have to roll for it.
I do want you to roll for it because I want to make sure that you don it right.
I don't know how to put clothes on.
Would anybody like to roll for me since I'm...
Oh, shit.
Where are you?
I'm trying.
I'm trying my best. So, sorry, what was the modifier?
A 1.
Okay.
Nane did great.
Nane just like backflipped into his fucking suit. Like
he's like stuck the landing. Like yes.
He's now critiquing each and every one of you.
Guys,
your form is terrible.
Like, why are you guys so awful?
Not a shirt.
Somehow your pants end up on your head.
Honestly, that would probably be me.
For the most part, you get them on, and it seems like they're okay. It's kind of a weird situation. You're not used to placing these things without being around the endless void of space. So it's kind of one of those things. It's like wearing a scuba suit to Walmart. It's just odd.
Implying you would not wear a scuba suit to Walmart. That is haute couture, my dear.
That is.
There.
That is. Yeah, I'm sure there's a picture of someone at a Walmart in a wetsuit.
Oh.
Stepping out from there, how close did you want to the larger structure?
Your landing spot.
I mean, there's plenty of landing spot because you're not you know, you're pretty much VTOL, so you can take off and land. Sorry, what was that?
Please.
Like the very first part of your sentence is just eaten by the internet.
Void of space.
Still didn't catch that. Anybody else? How close to the structure do you want to land? 100 feet, 10 feet, 50 feet on top of it?
I say 100.
Okay.
I'm the captain, damn it.
100.
I trust the captain on this. Don't put Tade at any controls, please.
100. 100 of what measurement?
100
Away.
100 child's.
100 spans. It's just this.
100 of the largest steps.
100 jazz hands away.
Yes.
I'm a stupid football head, so I can only imagine distances in yards.
Okay.
Everything is a first downs for me.
Wow.
I mean,
We're at like 33 yards.
Oh yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, 33 yards. Is that
I mean,
okay?
I can do the conversion. It's just
You're
everything.
at you're at 3 first downs and 7 to go. All right. Does that make sense? You got that? You're good? Sorry. Football jokes. Anyways.
Does anybody actually understand football? Do you guys just say random words and then other people just are like, yeah, that sounds right?
That's
How,
me.
how much is how much is the first yard?
A
First down, I mean. How much is the first down? Sorry. My brain was converting the numbers over. How much is the first down?
A distance.
I don't even know what a down is.
Okay. How far is the first down?
It's 10.
10 yards.
It's 10. And there's
So if I
100
said
to
you
a
had
field.
3 first downs and 7 to go, how many yards is that?
A lot. Listen, I played rugby.
Football man.
Okay?
We just like lose all of our viewers in just one fell swoop.
33 yards because you have 3 first downs. That's 10 times 3. Then you have 7 to go. That's 7 more yards. It'd be 33 left. Anyways. So you're about 100 feet from the building, from the structure. Who is disembarking first?
Not it.
This bitch.
Yeah.
Tane is
Tane's ready to go.
Tane's got both pistols out.
God.
One of his dreams is to always shoot an alien life form.
Oh my god. Okay. I'll go second.
I'd say it's more like dual one.
Dual one.
All right, Captain is second.
I brought the little mapping droid that I used on the last planet with me, right?
The
I
little
think we-
drone. Mhm.
Yeah. I'll go third and then I'll send it out if
Okay.
anything.
All right. So we've got those 3: Skippy, Pelka, Nain, I should say.
I'll go next.
So that leaves Skippy
rear.
last. Bring up the rear. All right, with the robots behind you.
The robot.
Maybe I'll
You
let-
go
I feel like
before
we
me.
should have made them go first.
Optimus. Point man.
You want the non-living life forms to go
Mhm.
first.
Mm-hmm. Or at least one of them. What if I ordered him
Raider
to?
out of the way. I'm first.
I missed everything that just happened. What?
Wait, no, he wouldn't. I was like, what if I ordered him to? And then I just remembered everything about Tane, and I'm like, wait, never mind.
So it's Tane, robots, Captain, and everybody else.
Yeah.
Only because Tane wouldn't let the robots go first. Gotcha.
Fuck robots, unless they're cute.
Looking at the structure, it seems to be like a 2-story. The height on it gives you the impression that it is 2 stories. It's about 40 feet from the ground to the top of the building. It seems to have a sizable entryway, but it's not like a structure that you and I would see here on Earth where there's a door and it's clearly a frame. This seems to be more like an opening with beveled edges or rounded edges that kind of lead open. So imagine like an opening maw of a cave that's been shaped and rounded. You can see other smaller, what appear to be maybe windows or other structures like that, spread out at even distances, looking out onto the runway and to the ziggurat shapes. Tane.
Me.
The structure looms in front of you, large. The surrounding area behind it appears to be mountain or low mountain, large hills, rocky protrusions, things like that. This is built almost up against one of them.
Okay. Is that is where we heard the distress signal, correct?
Correct.
Approximately. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, then I'm headed in. I mean, we heard someone asking for help, assumedly.
Doing it.
Can I maybe send the drone in first?
Sure, you can absolutely do that.
You can go ahead.
Please.
Good luck beating Tane, though.
Tane, you're just booking it straight out into the building.
Like racing
Just
the
like
drone.
trying to send the drone.
First!
No!
Please don't run on a planet we've never been on, you idiot.
If Neil
Trips over
Armstrong
an
can
invisible
do it, I can
rock,
do it.
falls, breaks neck.
Honestly.
He's on another planet.
Turns out the planet is just completely hollow, and there's like this.
You just go
20
running, and then
feet-
just the
20
world
feet
collapses
of-
under your feet.
Absolutely, yeah. Exactly what I'm saying.
Whoops.
Fast travel to the other side.
5 minutes later. 10 minutes after that. Jesus, we're falling a really long ways. I know.
There's a great episode of Noragami where the whole thing takes place while they're falling off
Oh
a
my
building.
God, I
and- It's really
Yeah.
good.
Oh,
It's like, isn't this kind of a long fall?
You-
Shut up! We're trying to solve this man's problems.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. All right. Tane, are you letting the drone go in first, or are you allowing the...
I mean, if it like passes by me, does Quentin say like, "Hey, Tane, I'm sending the drone in
There it
first,"
goes.
or like, does he just like put it in the air and let it go? Because otherwise, I'm just walking in, and if it passes me, then whatever.
All right. So you're walking in, and it slides past you. You watch it go. For a second, you see kind of a green flicker in the dark, and then it kind of expands, and then you watch as it kind of sweeps through the motion. The drone turns and continues to sweep around. On your data pad, which is connected to the Praetor, you watch as the interior scan comes up on there. In 3D image, you see Tane standing in the open entryway. You see the windows that shine out of the door that you're walking in through. You see sweeping in the center part of this, you see large columns and a sweeping staircase, or it's not really a staircase because there's no steps. It's smooth like a ramp. As it just, well, like a slide, but it looks like there's not enough angle that you could slide down it. Like you could walk up it as well, or push something with wheels up it. It's wide. I would probably say at least close to 3 meters wide as you look at it sweeping up to the top of this on either side. Just this grand sweeping ramp just up on either side. You see a balcony or like an overhang. No railings that you can see, but it looks down over the lower area where you're at. The building runs off in either direction, and every once in a while you see, as though it were carved out of the stone and molded, different sections like desks or counters, and you can see windows opening and then small recesses where people would work behind them or whatever this was. And it seems to be all, it's very, 1960s curvy, you know, not nouveau riche, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's that very very curvy style that everything kind of assumed in like the late 60s, early 70s.
Kind of that like future modernism where they were sort of going for the weird like curly. Yeah,
exactly. And that kind of look, but without all of the gaudy colors. As a matter of fact, looking through here, either they're faded over time or something has happened, but there's not a lot of color. Everything seems to be very uniform. Kind of just a pale stone alabaster white and cream and gray. And it runs out there. What's that?
Maybe it's just a government building.
Yeah, that's it. We have to paint them all this very pale blue and greens.
We have one color we're allowed to use, and it's beige.
Yes.
Send it back.
You've never been into a military installation. It is literally either pale blue or pale green.
Yeah,
disgusting
it's
looking.
True. I don't know who decided that.
Because it was cheap. All right, so where would you like to go from here? You can see that it runs in either direction for quite some ways.
Left.
Yeah,
I'm going left.
All right.
Okay.
Immediately
Going
turns left and starts
Yeah.
walking.
Okay.
Walks in,
Catching
kind
up.
of looks around. Walks left.
Cool.
We're going.
No
Trying to
different.
miss
We're
the
walking.
where these signals coming from.
All right, you're asking to try to miss this? Okay. He stops for a moment and stares, like looking up at the ceiling, and he goes, "It's coming from further back on the first floor."
Okay.
Should we be checking for traps or something, guys?
Because of the drone.
What do you think this is,
Camping and
D&D?
stuff?
Yeah, I was like,
Roll.
Crabs?
I
What the fuck?
mean, I don't know. Like, it's a help signal. Either there's someone who needs help, obviously, or someone who wants us to think there's someone in
Are you-
Somebody wants the ship. Did anybody lock the ship before?
okay.
Viper armed. Viper armed.
Stay.
So,
Just
we
thinking
should
out loud.
investigate that. Actually,
Are you sending the drone anywhere?
I'll
Currently, just kind of hovering above you.
well, little friend. I'll send it towards the signal, I guess, towards the back room. Is there a door I need to open for it?
You looking back further, and it's dark in here. You only have the light from outside. Each one of your vac suits does have like a light that shines out in front of you.
Okay.
You know, you just click them on and they shine out in front of you, but it's not illuminating very far. So you see dark, and you can see motes of dust that fall in the lights that shine from your helmets. The drone zips through, and it's like looking at star vision or like night vision. It's green scope.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, you see it zipping through the balcony covers a large like lobby looking area. There's just an expanse of room, and you see what appear to be tables and chairs. They're more like tables and stools. They're just round, and the tables are round themselves. Again, giving you that very that you were looking at earlier. You don't see any signs of what would have been life or anything else like that. No activity. But he zips through, and again, you can see on the other side of this large expanse, there are more of those hollowed out niches that looks like somebody would get behind them and work a counter or something like that. You can see faded labels in a language that is completely unknown to you, embossed in plaques above each of them. They all look different. You see similar characters that repeat or images that repeat, giving you an idea that these is either a letter or a phrase or something that's, repeated or commonly used. As he goes through, it narrows down into a smaller passageway. So you're standing with the ramps in front of you. There are 2 pillars, and as you go the other side of those 2 pillars where they kind of hold the ramps up, you can see that large expanse. Opposite of the large expanse are more of those little alcoves, those little niches. They don't completely cover the back wall, where they kind of come together and funnels into a hallway. And you can see the drone is continuing down the hallway.
Speedy boy. Okay.
The ceiling itself gets lower in the hallway. Before, it was probably 12 to 15 feet above your head. And now we're in the hallway. It's only probably like 8 to 10 feet. How far down do you want to send him?
Well, is there only is there only a specific distance it can go before it's like?
I mean, it can go several miles before it goes and returns to home.
Okay, I guess I'll let it keep going a little bit farther.
Okay. As you let it go in, this is the first time you've actually seen anything that looks like doors, and it's like a seam in the wall that has a place for like you to put your hand in and pull it open. And you can see more placards embossed on the door. There appear to be, there's like, as it goes down the hallway, there's nothing, and then you see one, and then another one opposite of it. You go down, you see another one on the right, and opposite of it on the left is another one. They're not matching placards on either side, but you can see that they're either offices, rooms, or something like that. At the end of the hallway, it comes to what would have been another smaller door or entry. There's no door there or glass or anything. It just simply opens up into whatever.
Okay.
And it opens up into like another large, it's like an enclosed area, so to speak, but it's large. Almost like it gives you the sense of like an arena or something.
Oh, goody.
Ooh. Where they made the humans fight.
Beyonce is performing tonight at the abandoned shopping mall on this moon here.
Oh, this is where they fight with the death for promotions.
Yeah.
Beyonce promoting her new album out on 44 out there in Boyne-Tuck, Kentucky. The abandoned Walmart Tire and Lube Center.
We have to love it.
All right. Drone sees what appears to be opened up into a large arena-looking structure area.
Okay. So, guys, we've got an arena. I don't know if it's a battle arena, but that's concerning. And a bunch of what looks like offices, but couldn't go in them because
the drone doesn't have hands.
I have hands. I'll go open. I actually want to go look in one of those rooms.
Okay.
I'm curious.
You start heading in that direction. Giving you a description of the arena that you saw, it appears as though when you walk out through that area, that there are immediately like little steps on either side that lead up into literally like the old Colosseum where you have the bench rise sections, you know? So it's like looking at the Colosseum. Benches circle the whole thing. You saw other passages that lead out in other directions, much like this one that you saw. Does that give you? Is that a good enough? Does everybody have that in their mind?
And their good old noggin.
Yeah.
Little arena looking like the Colosseum. Circular seats that rise up in pattern. Okay. Sure. You kind of make your way through. As you are walking, you kind of, paying attention. You you kind of hear a soft blip, for lack of a better, just kind of a.
On my data pad?
No, you actually hear it like out. Tane, since you went left and everybody else just kind of went that way.
Wait, they left me?
You're the one that went left. They're all just standing there. You're like, I'm going left.
You left us.
Oof. It is.
Okay.
So you recognize that no one is following you. They're all going straight. Are you going to turn around? Are you going to continue left?
Yeah.
You stubborn-headed fool.
Well, for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's like, fuck y'all for not following me. Second of all, I don't want to leave them on their own in case something shows up. I gotta beat the shit out of a
predator or something.
The greatest pleasure to say, I'm the only one that brought a gun.
Yeah, that's true, actually. I forgot about that.
Oh, whoops.
Right. Guns.
You see Quentin heading off towards some office or some passageway further into the building. He had mentioned that he saw the offices and wanted to go investigate them further. What are the rest of you doing? Are you following suit?
Yeah.
There are more offices. An office for everybody.
Towards the signal or away from the signal?
Towards it. Towards that blip, yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to close and some freezing. I will follow.
All right. Try to miss. His face doesn't change, of course, because it can't. But he gives you that little noise again. Hey, I can see you now.
Ah.
Nobody could see me?
No.
I can now. I couldn't a minute ago. He once again gives you that little noise as he walks forward. You get to the first office on the left. Again, that placard written on there. You can see the door is closed. And that soft loop, loop, loop is coming from inside there.
Oof. Does everybody hear that? Or is it just me being
everybody hears
crazy?
it.
Oh, good.
No. Everybody can hear it that's near you.
Okay.
Yay. Oh my god, why am I not getting everybody's...
I don't know. You're frozen, though.
Well, black screen for me now.
Seems to be the most I can see at one time.
It's like Skippy's not moving either.
Everyone's just starting to freeze on me.
We say one thing and the whole game crashes.
Yeah, that's exactly it. All right. Well, while I wait for all of you guys to kind of right yourselves, are you going to step into the?
Before I step in, I'll actually be like, "Hey, Tane, actually, I'm not gonna go first because if there's something in here, I don't have a gun."
Valid.
There's blips, and listen, I'll open the door for you. That way you have both hands on weapons.
You slide the door open.
Tane just there's like,
the exact sound he made.
I'm gonna have to exit because my page crashed.
No.
I'll be right back.
Bye. Bye forever, Cap.
Goodbye forever. It was fun knowing you all.
I have everybody but Atlas now.
I
Yeah,
cannot see Atlas.
I
Or
see Tane, and I see the man.
Oh, God.
Listen.
All y'all reconnect or else. No.
I want to see everybody's beautiful faces, okay?
Same! I'm so distressed.
All right.
Now.
Fuck you, bitch.
You take that back.
Once again, reminding you that while we try to be friends, Audiences, some material is not appropriate for all ages. Viewer discretion is extremely advised.
What the hell? I'm moving. People are moving, but the rest of my
Okay.
Well, I guess I'll just suffer.
Anyways, yeah, I'll go in first. I'll like have my hand on my gun.
All right. You open the door, and
how big is Tane's gun?
It's like it's just a pistol.
that's a
right?
personal question, I believe.
Yeah, listen.
Buy me dinner first, God.
I can't.
We don't have restaurants, Tane.
We don't have restaurants.
No currency on the ship.
Do I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do
Here,
we?
let me throw it in the.
Yeah.
Let
Let
me
me
just throw
basically
this
tell
fucking
the
food
science
pack
officer
into the
"Bitch, bring me a
microwave."
sandwich.
Date someone who will rip open an MRE with their teeth and then just slap it onto a tray.
That's the kind of people you get.
That's the
That's-
person I
that's
want to
the-
get with.
That's the true right amount of romance.
Hmm.
That's the noise for everything. Sorry, that's just my noise
You-
tonight.
No,
I
I
guess.
like it. It's a good
You
noise.
open the door.
Valid. Yes.
Okay.
Wah. Sorry, keep going. I'll stop. Because I love him. Okay.
I'm so sorry, Cap.
Go. I'll
We're
stop.
disasters.
No,
Go.
you-
So you open the door. Inside, you see banks of what would appear to have been like some sort of electronic equipment. You see stacks of them. They're labeled with a language that you're not sure of. You don't know. You can see, though, that there is a monitor. Although it is currently cold and dead, it's not turned on or anything. And you hear one of the banks of equipment giving off a soft bloop, bloop.
This seems like a
With-
name job.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Hey, Name, this
Tag
seems like
Name.
more of a you problem, so I'm gonna let you handle this one. I don't think I can just shoot these computers.
I mean,
You
don't. But you
can.
could. Don't.
I mean, I
Please
could.
don't.
I'm not gonna.
All right, I'll go over take a look. See.
Okay. You're not sure of the language. What are you looking for in particular? I mean, Tridemus confirms for you that this is where the signal is coming from.
All right, it's laid out like a normal computer though.
Imagine if you were in like a server room where you had banks of machines sitting in racks.
All right.
It's like that.
Okay.
But these don't look like, oh yeah, that's a standard 2U rack unit. You know, these are more like overly complex devices that, yeah, they're computer-like in the fact that you can kind of guess that's what they are, but you've no idea.
Do I see like a monitor showing?
Yeah, there's a screen there, but it seems to be off. It's not turned on or anything.
Is there anything that's like a interface, like keyboard or
An input device of some sort. There seems to be this circular pad that sits in front of the monitor, and you
Okay.
can see an arrangement of characters on it that you kind of see here and there, but and that looks like it might be an input device of some sort.
Gonna
Like
ask if old Trite Boy knows what some of these symbols are?
Tridemus seems to be staring kind of around the room, lost in his thoughts or something. And he says to you, when you ask that question, he looks at you, that blank face. Have you ever had a dream? And you knew it was a dream, but it felt so vivid and real. I believe the term that you use for it is déjà vu. Have you ever experienced that? I know that I'm nothing more than an AI to you. I have an extreme sense of deja vu at this moment.
I've got a dream. I've got a dream.
God damn it. He put us in
And
a
I know
time
that
loop
it's
while
a-
he was in that time loop.
Whoa.
Well, that's weird.
Indeed. That's the appropriate definition for the situation that we're currently in. Weird. I felt as though I've been here before, but I can assure you that I've never been here. I have no recollection of this place, nor the language that this culture once had. But I can't shake the feeling that I've been here before.
Try to miss.
Yes.
Were there more of you? Did we ask him that?
I don't know.
Is it just him?
So-
I don't remember. Are there more of you? I guess is my question. What's the answer then? Mom, listen.
Three units in total, I think.
1 of 3. Is okay. I understand that is there, but is that in character? Do you want to freaking go, bud?
You want to freaking go, bud?
You want to freaking go, bud?
Buddy,
You want to fucking go, bud?
you're
Let's
so
Pitter
get
patter, let's
right
get
at
at
it.
her.
You're so Canadian of you. You want to freaking go, bud? Let's have a fight right here. We're
You wanna
gonna
fucking
your
tussle?
mom's a dumb
Put her up.
head.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Pitter patter,
Shut
let's
up.
get at her.
Don't you dare use my father's words.
I
Fucking see.
wish you weren't so fucking awkward there, bud.
Listen, I'm gonna end up talking like that at some point tonight.
Letterkenny is an icon. I love that entire show. All right.
I understand that is there, but was that in character?
Your characters would not know that. It was for you all to enjoy and to partake
Maddie,
As-
you see this?
as
You see this?
Got a
As
few
players.
more for you in solidarity.
double deuce. All right. He did inform you though, whenever you asked, that he was one of 3.
Okay. Thank you. Is there a chance we could come across? Like, what's the percentage of us coming across a second Tritimus?
Well, given the immensity of space in the ever-expanding universe, there's a nigh infinite probability that yes, we could come across one of my fellow units. Another Tritimus would be impossible. Well, there is only one Tritimus, and that is me.
Okay. Can you communicate with your other colleague?
Well, certainly. As I can communicate with you, I can communicate with them as well. Of course, they have to be within range, as
Okay.
I know. As far as I recall, it's vague. Time is a funny thing. You
Got it.
run an operation, an executable file, at one time, and you run it for so long that you've forgotten that it's an executable file. It becomes an involuntary function. A process amongst many of the other processes that you have. Then they run, just on and on forever and ever, until you fade or forget about that executable, and it's no longer a process. It's a memory. But it's not even a memory of a process. It's more of a fragment of a file that you once ran. And it doles on, much like the signal here in this building, for eons, millennia, untold time. Who knows who might receive it? And who knows what it might say? And you reflect upon this thing and you go, why did I begin that in the first place? I knew that I am one of 3. but I don't recall their names. Or do I? Maybe they're so buried I can't remember who they are. If I came across them, would I recognize? You've given me quite a bit to ponder. But to say the least, yes, if we came upon them, I would be able to communicate with them.
Is there a chance you can scan for one on this planet? Or is that too much?
He does a very human thing. He taps his fingers to where his mouth would be and goes, I'm not entirely sure. I think that I shall give it a try.
Okay, cool.
And he kind of tilts the implacable mask for a moment. And tilts his head this way and that. No, there's only me here. However, it's as though there were a residual. A memory. A fragment of a file, if you will. An executable long forgotten. I'm sorry, I'm waxing on again. Something about this place strikes a chord with me. I'd like to learn more. Do you mind if I look through their information?
Ooh, Captain, that's your call.
What? Sorry.
Table. Flip.
He the Tridemus here wants to connect with
Certainly.
these computer with this place.
Interface with the
He
computers.
wants to make sweet, beautiful
Data
Robot
processes.
love. Who am I to deny a robot? It's
Everybody look away.
carnal urges. No.
Data processes.
I mean, I suppose. What could go wrong?
It's the only way we get anything translated, or we can hand it to.
Mm-hmm.
He takes a moment. He doesn't move from the spot where he's at. He kind of puts his fingers, like I'm doing, and steeples his fingers together. Behind the mask, and again, imagine that the face of Tridemus is a blank piece of metal or glass. There's no eyes, there's no mouth, there's no indicator of anything. It's just this implacable blank spot. You see pinpoints of light pop and fade all over the mask. It's kind of interesting to watch. It's like if somebody had recorded fireflies going off and then fast forwarded it. They're just boom, 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 boom. And as you watch, they slowly start to form into like a pattern or a shape. And then they fade out completely. And he says, I was here. Not me.
My good buddy.
He was Paulus. He was war. He was combat. He was a general. He was a leader. He did not represent the evils of war, but the neutrality of it. The inevitability of all things that must be combat. He would have been your Mars or Ares, but not spiteful. He did not incite battle for the glory of battle alone, but as a way to resolve conflict. Paulus was regarded as a god. Tridemus turns and starts to walk out of the room.
Goodbye.
Buddy, you
The
okay?
robot freaking anybody else out?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
What-
slept a single wink since
84
That's
years ago.
yeah, like,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did that robot just say he had a friend who was like God? Because that's a little fucking weird.
well, he said
Is the
Aegon.
thing.
Name came from?
All right, so we're dealing with like the multiple gods there.
Pantheon.
He
Tane
turns
actually,
and
Tane
heads towards the
physically,
arena.
Tane grabs the little like he's got his dog tags, he's got his cross necklace, and he like kind of holds that for a second, and then he like drops it and sort of lets it fall back under his shirt collar.
Fucking evil devil bullshit.
Like what the fuck?
He's back there humming "Our God is an awesome God" to himself. just low enough.
All right. Well,
Munchie, leave the cat alone. Go.
yeah, Munchie. You
About
dick.
halfway through, he shifts into thy word, and it's just he keeps going.
Oh my god.
Tridemus turned and walked out of the door, out towards the arena.
I'm following. I
Like
guess.
Quentin's like, later, dude.
I'll follow because now I'm
Bye.
interested.
Definitely gotta follow up with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some
Everybody's
more
going.
information.
The praetor, like a small lost child, wallflower, just kind of follows along behind you all.
Hmm.
Not interested in having our
I'll walk with the
only
praetor.
proper guidance throughout the
You
universe.
just take his hand.
Yeah, that feels like a very Quentin thing.
He
I'll
just
Just here.
he doesn't make a
Let me guide
noise or
you.
anything. He just kind of turns his face and looks down. Like again, it's just blank metal, but he just kind of turns and looks down and looks up.
Starts walking again.
There's
Like
a
a big
they're walk,
toddler.
but he keeps his pace with you.
Yay.
This is
Half formed
weird.
AIs, they're
This is my
adorable.
This is my son
Yeah.
now.
He's not. Tridemus isn't walking quickly. He's just walking, and he walks out of the arena and out into the open expanse. And as you follow along behind him, you see the field is full of lush plant life. Overgrown. No one's cared for it for years, so it's like looking at an old football field. It's overgrown. There's growth everywhere, but you can see the sections there, and the first signs of any other further life. You see a placard, another one of those big placards. This one's huge, and it's mounted on the back wall of one of the upper areas. And you see what appears to be like a pictograph of sorts. It's got several different shapes. And the first one you see is an orb, and you see figures underneath it in genuflection, bowing. Then you see a multi-armed figure. The body comes down into a tapered spot. The arms hold here, and then two out to the side and two down at the bottom. And each hand holds an implement of battle: a sword, a shield, an axe, a spear, a whip. And then the last one is a sickle, like a sickle-like shaped. And you can see you see below him multi-armed figures drawn rudimentarily. Thank you, rudimentarily. But they still depict going into battle, like against one another, as this figure stands above them. The last image is of this multi-armed figure upon a throne. And you see all of these shapes etched in there. and again bowing at the feet of the throne.
This planet was all about.
It's rough iconography. You kind of get the idea that this was a mural of some sort that represented whatever they believed. But you can tell that this was a place of battle. You don't know if it was a contest of iron on skin, if it was sports of some sort, what. But it was an arena that honored whatever figure this was that sat upon the throne.
Okay.
Well, it sure as hell ain't a football stadium, I'll tell you that much.
Mm.
Maybe not a rugby stadium. Whoa.
Sports ball.
Sports ball! Go team!
Yay!
Excel at sports ball! Tridimus stands and looks around.
Okay.
There was much to be learned from their information that had gathered there. Unfortunately, it wasn't whole and complete. It wasn't a repository for knowledge, more along the lines it had simple access to certain things. This appeared to be a location for celebration and exaltation of winners and champions. This was an arena of games and combat.
So, like the Olympics?
Yes, much like the Olympics.
Huh.
Okay.
Yes.
Couldn't hear in that system.
What's that?
That I asked Tridimus if there was any hints to what happened.
Intriguing enough. There's not a lot of data about what happened. But what I can tell you is that they fell into ruin because Paulus left them. Or rather, they left him? It's hard to explain. There was a gulf between the two. Chasm that was growing wider. I've nothing to associate it to, but it was almost as though the need for him was no longer there. And as they grew apart, he left. Interesting.
Alright, so you said this is like your friend, right? This Polus guy. How in the hell do you know all this? Like, is it some kind of mind wave thing?
That's a good question. Imagine when you were born, you weren't a single unit, but were instead 3 different parts of a single person. An aspect of each one. I don't know exactly what happened, but with the help of the data that I collected from their devices, I kind of learned what happened. I knew of him because of the fact that he is an aspect of me and I am an aspect of him, much as we are an aspect of our third. His name is Urudan.
Come again?
His name is Urudan.
Yeah, I heard you. That's just a weird fucking name.
And some would say that Tane is a weird name.
All right, you got me there. So this third one, what was his deal?
I can't recall.
Glad to have all this help. So we know we've got you, Mr. Know-It-All, and then we've got Mr. War God, destroy, kill, something. And then we got the wild card. So that's what we've got so far, and it sounds like everything is going just great with all of that, considering he left. The entire civilization went into ruins, which, take me aside if I'm wrong here, you're insinuating that if we get rid of you, the same thing's gonna happen to us.
You've existed for millennia without me. I'm pretty certain you could carry on without me.
Yeah, but what if you're some kind of bad luck charm? What if you, I don't know, like, you show up, and then if we try to get rid of you, it's a curse on us and everything we love, and then suddenly everything goes to shit. I mean, hell, we're unstable enough as it is. We just landed on this new planet, and now you're telling us there's some asshole war god motherfucker out there that's gonna, I don't know, he left and caused all these problems, and, you know, all I can assume is the same's gonna happen with you, and frankly, I'm not big on that idea.
There are two things contingent upon the collapse of an entire society of people who have a strong belief in a figurehead that you have missing. One, there's no dependency upon me. Two, your mistrust and distrust of me already keeps you at an advantage, for if I disappeared, you would say good riddance. And not, where have you gone and why have you forsaken us? Understand that I don't know the full nature of each of the aspects, but I can keep in mind that what they were to these people. Remember that a lot of the information that I've gained wasn't because I knew it when I came upon the planet. It was gained whenever I looked into what information I had here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I'm still not super excited about the whole thing, but sounds like at least if you disappear or something like that, we're not going to be doomed.
Man, I feel that you would. Looking through the history and the information that I've gathered, thanks to the Praetor and your own repository of knowledge, you're quite resilient.
Look, hell we are. That's humans for you.
Anecdotal, I would say that you have a creature on your planet that a lot of people compare you with. Like cockroaches, I believe, as the sentence goes. You're tough to rub out. You've tried to kill yourselves for millennia, and yet you still thrive. It's truly fascinating.
Yeah, well, somehow I think humans might actually be dumber than cockroaches, because at least cockroaches know how to, you know, live their lives and, you know, not get on anybody else's nerves. More or less.
True, but it is remarkable that a group of people with less technology than what you currently have in your datapads were successful in making it the short distance from your Earth to your moon and back again. It was quite remarkable.
Yeah. That's ancient history, though. We didn't learn much about that in school. It was all about the, Second Revolution and all that fun shit from, like, 2020 AD to about, 2050? That was the only part of history class I remember. I slept through the rest of it.
A shame. You should have paid more attention.
Yeah, probably.
Anyways, I digress.
Indication of life, or that any of these people may have lived somewhere else.
As in somewhere else on this planet?
Yes.
Yes. It seems as though they were mostly regaled to this region of the planet as the most habitable for them. An odd creature. Odd creatures, so to speak. Multiple limbs. Upwards of 8. 2 lower extremity and 6 upper extremity. Minor defects here and there would grow fewer. And from what I can tell, they were quite skilled craftsmen.
Bless you.
Bless.
Bless you.
Sorry.
I would need to find out more from a larger repository of knowledge than they had here. They're quite interesting. I gained a little bit of information on the knowledge of their language.
Is it like anything we have? Bless.
It's
Sorry.
in the manner of the makeup of it, yes. In the actual like relation to anything that you have, no. In other words, it's a lot more pictorial and character driven, much like the Japanese language of your, or Chinese language of your Earth. But however, it is not any of those languages. It's a combination of sounds and character sounds combined together to make a word, if you will. It's rather fascinating. So, have you found what you've come to find? It seems as though there's no one here, at least in the shortwave that I can scan at the current.
Was there any indication if they did this to themselves or if an outside force came in and did it?
From what I could tell, I would have to find out more. What I can tell you is the distress signal had been running for quite a long time. It appears as though this was self-inflicted from what little bit of information I can gather.
Okay, so they basically killed themselves off.
Lack of a better way of saying it, yes. It's what I can gather so far.
Well, that's fucked up, to say the very least.
But it means they're not a danger to us.
I suppose.
Place, does it match up with what we found on our planet's moon?
Say that again.
Sure, of this place, does it match up with those buildings we found on our moon?
Yeah, it seems similar in construction.
Well, the poor booger got into space at least.
Yay! Atlas, do me a favor.
Yes.
Pronounce Tane's last name for me one more time.
Kahuyane.
Kahuyane?
Kahuyanu.
Kahuyanu. Okay. Security Officer Kahuyanu.
Nailed.
Proud of myself.
You should be. You did a good job.
I think that maybe I had the aspect incorrect. Imagine if you had not a god of war, but a god of competition.
All right.
God, Tom Brady.
I'm proud of you for all knowing who that was.
I might be football stupid, but I'm not that football stupid.
Just as long as Tom Brady never grows his hair out again, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Yeah.
The hair and the Uggs didn't work.
I forgot about those. Anyways. There's the saying, or there's an idea that a lot of cultures that I've come across have, that competition fosters greater advancement. Or at least a striving to be something better. Imagine if you had an entity which drove this idea, who was present at all times, to basically instill upon this people the idea to be better than what they were through competition. Fierce, friendly, either way. And a competition in all things. To be better at schoolwork, better at crafting something, to be better at a game than someone else. If you had these people, and their idea of competition was the driving factor behind the culture, imagine what they could accomplish.
A hell of a lot of damage, I would think.
Or growth.
Yeah, but what do the losers do?
Learn and be better. Shine and try to be better than the others.
That's a nice thought, but where I'm from, you win and then eventually you change all the rules so that anybody who isn't winning can't win.
That's possibly the downfall that happened here.
Hmm.
Maybe that was the very rift that was driven between
Wouldn't surprise me.
Paulus and the people there. Nor would it surprise me either. Shall we venture forth and see what else is on this planet?
Yeah, we might as well. If everyone's dead, there's not much point in worrying about how they died or anything like that.
No, but how they died might reveal so much about the nature of the rest of the aspects that I am.
Well, that sounds like a self-search kind of thing. I think they make a chicken soup book for that. So, you go ahead and take care of that. We'll just go and
Chicken soup for the advanced AI godhead. That's the one right out there.
Yeah.
Now on the Dire Bear Adventuring Company store.
Honestly,
that's a shirt. Chicken soup for the advanced AI godhead. That's the.
We're making it, fellas.
Speaking of, I am actually working to get the files made so that the very first Dire Bear Adventuring Company, the logo, will be on an actual shirt coming soon.
Woo!
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Just need somebody to get on those NEEC shirts.
He's
him.
He's hiding.
You have a prototype?
I have the logo on the shirt crooked.
Oh.
Get it? Where is it?
Let's. I want to see it. We're gonna take a small little segue from
Do
things
the
right here.
Eric Andre show music. We'll be right back.
Do 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 do.
It honestly took me more time to actually draw the NEEC logo than anything else, and I'm like losing my marbles because it's like literally all it can't see it.
I have a tip for you as someone who's drawn it several times. Draw a circle, divide the circle down the middle, and then divide the sides down the middle of each of those. And then just like kind of draw in the letters from there.
If I can find my camera. There, it's right there. That's it. That's all I have.
There,
it's
right there.
Not
Look at that
bitchin'.
beautiful stencil. Look at the way it's stenciled in.
I can't. I'm doing my best, okay?
It's great.
You're doing great,
You're doing great,
sweetie.
sweetie.
I just
You're doing great, sweetie.
Literally, that's the encouragement I need, so it's fine.
Perfect.
I think I lost all my paperwork.
It's
but
fantastic.
At least it puts clothes on my boy, so it's fine for now.
I think it's fantastic. Look at that. We have a logo, thanks to Atlas, and we have the beginnings of a shirt thanks to V. So look at this. We're working on a store right now.
Mhm.
You can actually buy things like shirts with logos.
Things and objects.
And I'm working on maybe building dice so that you can buy your own Dire Bear Venturing Company dice
Oh, hell yeah.
with the logo on them. All right. Tritmus is standing in the middle of the field, waxing soulfully about the idea of being an aspect of certain things. You're on a planet that doesn't appear to have any life forms. We're a very competitive race from what you can gather. What are you doing, group? You just going to sit here?
Pull it all.
I'm
What's that?
holding the Praetor's hand.
Pull it all.
Yeah, are there any like, other life forms?
Not
or
right
anything?
in this area you have.
Well, shall we explore a little bit more then, team?
Might as well.
Sounds good to me. There is literally one person in the entire damn universe that I am willing to listen to talk about anything for more than about 2 minutes. So, yeah. And, it's not this guy. So let's go.
Quentin and Skippy.
Yes.
I need you, each one of you, to give me endurance checks, please.
Endurance. Okay.
On your character sheet at the top, just click on endurance.